Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. That is good. That is good.
Welcome to Omaha Warrior. I just want to take a quick moment to shout out to Games Workshop and one of the local store owners, Norm from the Game Shop in Bellevue, had a meeting with Games Workshop, flew out to it, and one of the things that they were asking about is what they can do to kind of glean back some of the customers that they've been kind of losing to some other competitor type miniature games. And what he told them was start sponsoring some of your events that are using just Games Workshop models and kind of like the old days. So Games Workshop did step up, and at the whole Bugeater, the 3-day Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they donated and provided about $2,000 worth of giveaways, door prizes, and prizes to winners. So that is awesome, and awesome, great news for anybody who does tournaments and organizes tournaments. That they are trying to get back into that. So thanks to Games Workshop. Here's our army again, Dwarves and Bretonnian. Just real quick, the 2 Knights of the Realm units. The Dwarves, he's got a Paladin there, and you know, if you watched the last video, you're probably pretty familiar already with what we got. It's pretty simple: Thunders and organ gun and cannon and gyrocopter and peg knights. So this game here, when we do deployment, we do a poor job of our deployment right off the bat. We don't even measure when we're laying some stuff down, and I think we start one of our units of knights in at least one organ gun range, which is never good. So knowing that we're going to give up the first turn. This is the one where there's I think a big old, I think we could deploy 6 inches, you know, from the center of the table, or maybe 9 inches off the center line, so we can deploy quite a bit farther up, and we could either deploy up or back, and we decided to, you know, just somewhere in the middle, which is never good. So on the left hand side, he's got the unit of the, I think they're Dryads, kind of a combat unit, 2 units of the archers, and then it turns out later on we find out they have true flight arrows, which is no penalties to any kind of shooting, movement, terrain, nothing like that. So that's they're kind of nice. You know, I've watched a few battle reports on Wood Elves, but I'm not super familiar with what they have. He's got a bunker of the fast cav guys back there with his general, the Wood Elf general in there. 2 organ guns. There may or may not have a few runes on those. He's got a master engineer there. He can provide his ballistic skill to one of the organ guns. And then he's got 3 grudge throwers, and later on after the game he kind of talks a bit about how he shouldn't have taken 3 grudge throwers. He's got no cannon, and I have a cannon, but yeah, there's not a lot of big blocks on all the players out here. Lots of small units, fast units, because you know everyone's got 1,000 points to work with, so no big giant combat blocks hardly, other than maybe that first opponent that we faced with the lizardmen and the warriors. And no big monsters, so not a lot of grudge thrower, center hole type of things needed here. So then he's got a gyrocopter there. He's got a unit of crossbowmen, and then, like I said, he's got the 2 throwers back there behind, and they've got multiple. One's got accuracy and fire. I think one has accuracy, and the other one just has fire. So they really don't come into play. This game, don't get me wrong, we were worried about them. You know, you don't want to take too many templates on units, but so there's that. We also, when we deployed, we did not take into account the scouting potential of some of their units. And they deployed their 10 Wood Elf Scout. Well, I don't know if they're scouts or what they're called, but they're pretty badass. They got a high ballistic skill. They got arrows where they can fire 2 shots, or they can fire armor piercing. Actually, not even armor piercing. They're ignore armor saves. Yikes! You know, that's pretty nasty when you're hitting almost every shot and you just ignore armor saves. So on our left hand side, we got the gyrocopter. We got our peg knights there. Our plan for the peg knights is to vanguard them up there behind that wall. Basically force them to make a decision to shoot everything they have at them with the cover of the wall, or to charge those dryads into them, and then hopefully with the -1 to be hit, that we'll be able to just hold and tie that unit up for a while. We didn't know about the true flight arrows at this point, and 2 organ guns cranking into them, it was a gamble, but that's what we're hoping for, because if they don't kill the Peg Knights, then the Peg Knights will start killing war machines. That simple. So we kind of force their hand, throw all their shooting at it, or charge it. And that's what Peg Knights are kind of for, force the issue. So all our other deployment, it's kind of disappointing with what we're doing. We deployed kind of looking to have that general of mine in between those 2 units of knights, but we are so far back, but we're not back far enough. We should just be pressed as far up as possible, or all the way back, and we end up somewhere in the middle. But poor planning. I put my organ gun up there pretty far. Basically, I've got to do an accuracy on that. So firing through those woods, I'll be -1, but I'm +1, so it should be just base shooting. And I wanted it in range of at least his quarrelers and at least one of his organ guns, and anything else that might come over here. But just gonna hope for the best. I've got a cannon. He does not. My cannon's out of range of everything, barring a rock throw that center hits him. But so we vanguard up. They have first turn because we pray, and he elects to just take the safe route and charge that unit into the pegs. So they're there. We're hoping that the wall will give us a -1 to be hit. Will be enough to give us a decent chance to not break. But this is when we start shooting all these arrows at our little mini bunker unit. We got Wissons up on the pegs. Or no, our plan is to put Wissons up. So that's why our wizard's on the far left. So his copter comes flying up, and then he just does a lot of shooting. His scouts move into that tower, and that's when we find out they have ignore armor save completely shooting, and they are hitting on like 3s, 10 shots, and then 4 up to wound because strength 3, toughness 3, and they really do a number to that unit of Black Knights and knocks them down to 6. So, well, that's including the Paladin, so they killed quite a few. And the Yellow Knights, who we poorly deployed in organ gun range with a Master Engineer giving them a great ballistic skill, they take a pounding as well. So, woof, not a good turn for us, and we haven't even moved a model. The good news is my little bunker took all the arrow shots and only lost 2 guys. So on our turn, well, on combat, Peg Knights flee. They do not get caught though, so that's saving grace. And it's going to be up to my gyrocopter to save the day with the Peg Knights. And then hopefully I want to get into my copter into those toughness 3 archers. It would be great. Start firing flame templates on them. So, I mean, he shoots at me, he still needs 6s to wound. So I move my copter over, fire the flame template, steam gun, machine gun those guys up quite a bit, and I kill 5, which is probably above average. Maybe if they're toughness 3, strength 3. So kill 5, and they panic and they run away. And this is right before they flee, and they actually roll like an 11, so they flee all the way through the woods, and they are 1 inch away from the edge of the board. They almost went off the board. So we got to try to get them off to score those points, because it's a decent amount of points for the battle we're playing anyway. The Peg Knights do rally. They only lost 1 guy on that combat. They don't have a banner in there, so they didn't lose, that one. So they just lost the 1 guy, and they rally, so they can get back into assisting or doing some things later in later turns. Because and here our Yellow Knights just say screw it, and they go as fast as they can straight ahead, and we get Wissens up on them. So they're either going to die a horrible death, or they're going to get some charges off on that organ gun. I do pick off the first organ gun with a cannon shot, so that's good news. Subsequently, in turns 2, 3, and I think 2 and 3, I cannot hit anything. I'm dropping just short, but so I wipe that one out. Wissens up, move the Black Knights up to threaten either the Quarrelers and or that Grudge Thrower. There's a lot of Quarreler shots, like 20 shots, and he doesn't take the -1 for the stand and shoot, but I still think we're out of long range, or he can go for a longer charge against the Grudge Thrower. On the right, I crank all my organ gun shots into those now find out deadly scouts in the tower, and also my 10 thunders shoot at them, and we're able to get them from 10 down to about 5, I think, this turn. So that's at least less shooting at us. That's gonna help. I don't really move my dwarves up. I probably should have this round. Started at least marching them ahead, but I don't. And then so that's pretty much our turn. On his turn, those guys do not rally, and they head off the board. So that's a quick points pickup. And then in the middle there, basically those 2 units of archers and organ gun, and I think even the crossbows, all fire at those Yellow Knights with Wissens up. They're obviously a threat to that war machine there, and that's gonna absorb all of his shooting for the turn. If even one of them can survive, at least they can get into the war machine and tie it up. They don't break it, because dwarf machines are stubborn. So doubt 2 guys could possibly do it, but one won't. But he can keep it from shooting at us anymore. And on all their shooting, they lay into the Yellow Knights. Even with Wissens up, doesn't really help them against all that. It's kind of the charge of the last samurai there, and they go down to the last man. The archers in the tower, I think they're down to about 5. They throw their armor ignoring shots into the Black Knights, and they're able to, I think, only kill 1 this turn. But that unit is down to 5 guys now, and that is including the paladin. So they're kind of stuck. If they charge those Quarrelers, they're not going to survive. But they'll take the stand and shoot, and they won't break them because that unit's too deep. And the long charge on the Grudge Thrower, possibly, or the organ gun's a super long charge, and they could just be left hanging with their flank open. So not looking too good. I'm not even able to give them the devastating charge because I wasn't close enough and didn't move my dwarves up. But on our turn, we go ahead and fly the copter up, and we throw down the flame template. I'm able to hit both units there and cause quite a bit of wounds, kill a lot of guys in each one. Strength 3 versus toughness 3, and so that's some good news. Does not cause any panic checks though. That would have been a nice bonus, but leadership 9, it's kind of tough. And maybe they had a reroll too because the elf BSB is back there in that thing. So and then my thunderers fire a couple shots there to the only thing in range, and I'm able to kill 2 more out of that unit. So knock those guys down quite a bit. And then over on the other side, my partner throws a trebuchet rock trying to hit that organ gun because my cannon dropped 2 inches short. That's unfortunate. Really need to eliminate that threat. So I wasn't able to kill it with my cannon. His trebuchet rock drifts off and kills some dwarves. So that's a nice little bonus. I also fire my organ gun into the crossbows, and I'm able to help knock off a few more. So they don't believe they would be steadfast if the knights could get a long charge, but still, after a stand and shoot, that's asking a lot of only 4 knights and a paladin. So we elect to, well, we had already, since we had declared charges first, we had elected not to charge that, and we had reformed our Black Knights, just kind of moved them into the woods. tower here. We're firing my thunders into that, and just still shooting. Maybe I think I get 1 this turn. So they've got about, I think it goes from 4 to 3. We have 3 remaining in there. So they're pretty bunkered in there. Next turn, I'm thinking, this is taking too long. I'm probably going to just charge it with my thunders because, they're still dwarf warriors in combat. They're not so bad. This is pretty much the last picture I took crossways. I didn't take the last picture, but on the elf turn, there's really not much they can do. They fire a few more shots at some things, and then on our phase, I shoot my organ gun at those quarrelers, and I'm able to kill enough for a panic check, and they panic off the board on a leadership 9. So then the subsequent turn, the Black Knights take out that grudge thrower. I'm finally able to kill the organ gun with a cannonball, and that pretty much ends the game. I'm able to take care of, I think, one of those units of knights with my chopper, or not knights, archers with my chopper, and that's pretty much game. Totaling it up, we didn't really lose much. We lost the yellow knights. That's the only thing we lost, and we were able to kill a few things. So it was a kind of a static game. I didn't take a whole lot of pictures towards the end there because it's really just nothing happening. A few guys dying here and there from some shooting, other than those thunders running off the board. So we total it up, and we end up with a either a 14-6 or a 16-4, maybe a 16-4, and we had some extra of the battle points, so we're able to get about 19 points out of this matchup. So it's another decent win. So we're pretty happy about that. We're going into round 3, knowing that if we can win it, we got a chance to do something. So we're 2-0, and thanks for watching.